Welcome back to Pathfinder Kingmaker. We are in the abandoned keep, which I guess is somewhat inside the blue, and we are exploring the final rooms. Of course, red caps. Just immediately do a fireball there. They do an insane amount of damage for being what I would consider an average type of enemy. Probably should heal up as well. You can convert to level 6. You don't have any left. You can convert into the light. Just drink a potion. Better. Okay, so there's a chest down here. No masterwork stuff. And there's a chest up there. I'm also suspecting there's a trap here. No. Short. Composite. Black linarm stew. Which reminds me that I do have a few recipes. Smoked trout and hydroplate. Let's copy that one. And also the black linarm stew. And that should be it for there. What's this? Coarse canvas sleeping bags. Much newer than the rest of the items in the room. Okay. A dwarven Urgrosh +3. Stop. So far the traps in here haven't exactly been benevolent, so... Oh, right. We have to go back here. I'll pause the recording. Here we are. So now what is this room? Should have just gone in here in the first place. Oh, a mimic. Oh no, not one mimic, several mimics. Okay. Diamond, ruby, emerald. Expect that's a mimic as well. No, it isn't. Bardiche. Perception. The odd-shaped stones are petrified rats, shattered into pieces by someone or something. Is that all that is in this room? Yeah, it would seem so. You know what? I'm not going to bother with that. Let's move up here and exit, and I will... Okay, so I've gone through the things here, and there is nothing more we want. And I have a strong suspicion that we're going to come out in the ever-blooming grove. Place I had to go on my own to meet Nerissa. Well, what do you know? Verdant Chambers. That was the name of the place. Okay, the barony is out of reach. Still don't understand why we haven't been able to claim the Narlmarches, because I'm pretty sure we've found everything there is to find. It would really help having the Narlmarches. Let's travel up to the Pike Stretch. See if that helps. Yeah, we can fight them. More gobos. Masterwork short bow and a few masterwork light. Composite, composite, composite. And off we go. 55 out of 100. Slow and steady, that's the key. There we have something that I haven't discovered yet. I'm pretty sure the Pike Stretch is... Okay, fight them as well. Stop that. Composite, 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 masterwork. Masterwork, composite. Leave. Let's go back to the Pike Stretch just to make sure. While trying to cross a small river, there were tons of them in those parts. We met an old man that would be considered suspicious even by local standards. He had a grey beard and his straw hat sat above a head of coarse, dirty, tousled hair. The man was skillfully guiding a small raft along the river with a long pole, and a fat water rat sat near his bare feet. Noticing us, the old man approached the shore and hailed us in a local dialect so strange we could barely understand him. Good folk, where are you heading? Playing something or looking for something? Ah, you're looking, I can see it in your eyes. Well, as the saying goes, what seek will find. I can help you, surely, if you can pay me the right price. After hearing the old man's colourful speech, we bid the strange old man farewell and hurried to get away as far away from him as possible. With a sly smile, the old man waved to us with his crooked palm, then pushed off the shore with his pole and began guiding his raft downstream. Soon he had disappeared from our sight. Let's go to these swamp ruins then. Don't look too big, but they also look to be of cyclopean origin. A ferocious devourer. Can you charge? No. Well, it died. Belt of Giant Strength +4, Amulet Natural Armor +3, Ring of Protection +2, and Cloak of Resistance +2. I'm guessing that's what was here though. But hopefully that's enough to allow us to actually claim the Dire Narlmarches. We need to rest, I see. We're not going to make chocolate ice cream now. We're going to make fish on a stick. Let's use rations and remove Amiri from there. You can go watching instead.
You have the spirit of a wolf, Amiri. I feel it.
That's true. But more like a bear. Big. Scary. Anyone who stands in my way, I'll rip them to pieces.
Now, I don't know if that is all we can discover here. I will just pause the recording briefly to see if there are more spots here that I should find. Okay, so I found 2 spots. One of them is supposed to be there, and the other one is supposed to be down here. Let's travel down here. I don't have the perception, it would seem. I can't find that, or it's a quest. The other one is up near the brown bald head. Just travel that way then. Now, doesn't seem as if I can find that one either at the moment. So let's just head back into the barony. There might be problems, and we're at the end of the month. Regions claim that declare the Dire Narlmarches finally. Events. There is a scandal in the capital. I need to go to the throne room for that. Unexpected visitor in the capital. New settlers is an opportunity. Good neighbors. That is not. Jathal. Please deal with that. Projects. Find mention. That is 30 days. Not too happy about using one of these for that. Also 350 BP as opposed to 250 BP for this one. So we won't do that. We will, however, go to Port Martin. I think I have a teleportation device there. Yep. Teleport to the Throne of Wiv. And enter. Go to the throne room. captain's usually untroubled face is dark with rage. Your Grace, please forgive me for distracting you from important matters, but you are the only one who can talk some sense into these hotheads. They had an argument in the middle of the street, yelled so much your subjects called the guards. What can they do about Lady Valerie? Plus, Eveld hasn't done anything illegal. It is not like I can put them in jail. Valerie, explain yourself. Valerie looks down ashamed. I humbly beg your forgiveness, Caledorn. I failed to control my temper and besmirched not only myself, but you as my leader. The girl casts a burning glance at the man in sophisticated attire standing beside her. Unfortunately, I was provoked. The man catches Valerie's glance and gasps with indignation. Is that so? So it's... forgive my manners, your grace. Allow me to introduce myself. Eveld the Silver-Tongued from Brevoy. It's a pity we meet under such circumstances, but... This, so to speak, sweet lady insulted me, if you please, in front of my audience. Halted my performance and embarrassed me in front of the entire tavern. Would you please be so kind as to rein this lady in? Valerie is apparently trying to control herself, but telltale red spots flare on her face. I noticed that someone pinned a disgusting pasquinade next to the tavern's entrance. Something about a bright bird who lost its feathers. That's abominable insolence. Yes, I won't deny I'm guilty. I lost my temper, but who wouldn't have? Eveld gasps with indignation. Is that so? When I smothered this lady with exquisite compliments, I received only insults and jokes in return. When I came to her with gifts begging her to become the muse for my greatest work, I was ridiculed and sent away like a snotty boy. And now, the moment I start to pursue my art away from this good lady, she seeks me out and says I'm guilty of spiteful slander. What shall I do? I'm but a slave to my inspiration, which is sent to me from above. Eveld smooths down his hair and adds, and while we're on the subject of my poetry, it's really not that bad. Eveld, did you really write a pasquinade about Valerie? Eveld clasps his hand to his chest ostentatiously. Forgive me, who would I be if I stooped to such low attacks? I won't deny that the cautionary tale of this lady could inspire me. How can you listen to this featherbrain? Of course, in the face of justice, he's ready to disown his own parents. And if I'm allowed to continue, let me say what this pasquinade was devoted to. The sad position of the arts in these lands, forgive my frankness. Anyway, the good lady is unlikely to understand what allegory and poetic hyperbole are. The captain shakes his head sadly. Don't even try, your grace. I'm afraid even Abadar couldn't get to the bottom of this ball of accusations. I don't care who said what to whom. You're going to make peace now, right here in front of me. Valerie almost screams. I'm not going to make peace with this worthless paper stainer. Let him spend his useless time insulting other bootlickers. Your tongue befits your beauty, my sweet. Truly, what is a beautiful flower's bud worth if it's worm-eaten and empty on the inside? Enough, both of you. First you scared everybody at the tavern, and now you're embarrassing yourselves in front of the Baron. Apologize at once, if not to each other, then at least to his grace. I don't know what got into me, your grace. Forgive me this scene. Please forgive me, Caledorn. Perhaps I should leave to calm down and come to my senses. That's nice. You let some steam off and work some things out. At least now I can let you go, hoping that you won't scare our good people anymore. Your grace, I'll go too, but please keep an eye on Valerie. I don't know what demon has got into her, but she's not herself lately. At first she just snapped, then she started getting into fights with everyone about stupid things, and now she's dragged this bard out of the tavern by his collar. I'm afraid it might come to real violence. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. I'll try to help her. If I were you, I would talk to the storyteller. One of my lads saw Valerie arguing with him. I have no idea how anyone can have a fight with such an harmless elf, but she did. The captain bows, finishing the conversation. The heck is this? A dismal silence hangs in the hall as the figure of a new visitor appears at the door. He's taller than anyone else present, and he seems to be made of subtle folds and sharp angles from his metal mask to his scarlet cape, and he literally reeks of evil. Cold, calculating, unrelenting. Greetings to the ruler of this land, an expressive male voice carries across the hall. The visitor bows politely. I've come from afar to discuss a matter of considerable importance, and I hope for a civilized conversation. Let me introduce myself. I am called the Forefather, and I serve the illustrious Queen Mahathala. I am a devil. Right, now there are devils roaming about my capital. How can you be sure of that? Disguise can do wonders. You hear a chuckle from under the mask, but then the devil regains his polite and formal tone. I realize that guests like me are somewhat exotic. This is why I chose to come forward boldly in the light of day, as any honest visitor should to the lands of a lawful ruler. The devil makes a few gestures and says something indistinguishable. Both he and you seem to be enclosed in an invisible ring. The outside world shines through dimly, its sounds are barely audible. A modest precaution. Others should not hear what I have to say. I have news of someone you know, young Canera and Kalike. One of them is in great danger, and they both share a single fate. They must have told you by now, the Soul Eater who killed Canera. I should imagine that by disclosing their secret and true names to you, the poor children deprived Canera of protection from this deadly foe. The Soul Eater has picked up her scent, and will soon be here. You will need my help to deal with it. What is your interest in Canera and Kalike? My interest in these lost children is special, I would even say familial. It is my blood that runs in their veins. A long, long time ago I gave a night of passion to a young follower of Mahathala's cult. Her soul has writhed in agony in the flames of hell for many ages, and yet I still feel a vague joy when I see the offspring of our alliance walking the sunlit lands of Kadira. I am their forefather, and not only by name. What is so special about this Soul Eater? I've killed worse beasts before. This Soul Eater is more ancient, and far stronger and more evil than any others like it. It knows Canera's name, and will follow her relentlessly. If you refuse my help, both you and the girls will have to remain on close guard day and night, waiting for it to appear, to attack, and believe me, the devil seems to chuckle. Even so, you will not be prepared when it strikes. So what do you suggest? I can lure the Soul Eater to appear at the right time and place. I even know a way to be rid of it once and for all, without any fuss. If you are willing, then come with Kalike to the barrens at the southern border of the Camelands. It must be Kalike. We cannot risk her sister being found. We will meet there and resolve the matter once and for all. Fine, I will come to the agreed place. The devil makes another half bow. I enjoy dealing with reasonable and civilized mortals. So long. Exiting style. Bokken comes with an acerbic ring. Let's keep having him make rings. Shania is here with the Oppressor. That is a nice bastard sword. The acerbic ring is just the usual. So how long until these people are done with their tasks? He's done 10. And he's done in 12. Well, let's claim the Narlmarches. Wait, Need to put Tristian back into the role as counselor. There we go. We now include the dire Narlmarches. Do we have the 1,000 voices in our lands? Lindsay has completed the Paper People. Druma is famous for its wealth and prosperity. Their ambassador has reported in secret that the court of Cheliax sometimes invites Druman bureaucrats to audit and organize the chancellery. This sounds tempting, but what could we offer the ambassador of Druma in return for their service? The Grand Diplomat promised the Druman embassy a new luxurious carriage and a pair of well-bred stallions. Experts from Druma will hold their first inspection within the month, with the repeated audits every few years after that. 3 economy, 6 relations, and 3 stability. Excellent. We're almost at 60 relations. We failed the new settlers. Rugongar, the Baroness troops located the slavers' camp, and our soldiers destroyed the evildoers and freed the slaves. 3 to military. Jathal, the curator, commissioned a local troupe to stage a play about the Staglord's gang. Tensions in the region are each easing off, and the people still remember the times of trouble and are discussing the politics of their new ruler. 3 to culture. We're now at 60 culture. Ekon, the Varnhold militia, is ready for duty. Turval is grateful and ready to start working as a leatherworker if we can provide her with a suitable workshop. 1 to community and stability. That probably means we can... let's see here. Enter. Build. Turval's leather workshop. +1 when beside a tavern or a longhouse. Okay, let's build it there then. Now there's the matter of building a city in the Narlmarches. This is Pitax. Build it there. This will be... I don't know, what are the names of the cities I have? I have Fort Martins, Hepsburg, Fort Junefix, Fort Groundbuster, Fort Betabite, and of course I have Varnhold. So I still need Dunsword and Tours of Lebanese over here. To build a city there, we can call it... Escauville, or maybe Villa de Escau. Or is that Do? Villa do Escau. I think it is do. Enter. Build. First of all, let's build the bulletin board. And teleportation circle, please. Wooden wall. Shop affects forge, foundry and smithy. Shrine. Smithy. And a longhouse. Temple and barracks. That should be plenty for that. As for the capital, I'm guessing we can build more stuff here. We can upgrade the garrison. We want to upgrade the marina and the wall to a reinforced wall. Upgrade that to a grand temple, the town hall to a city hall. Foundry we can upgrade to a forge. Trade shop to a luxury store. Upgrade that one. Twice actually. Is there anything I want to build here? We don't need a teleportation circle because it already has a teleportation circle within something that gives relations. Well, we do have 60 relations now. So let's keep the BP for these things. Restoration of the Silver Shield Fortress. Well, we have to look at these first. They're all in this together. Jeesh. How long until those people return? Why are they assigned to those? Christian, please try to do that. Illicit hunters, Valerie. A high society wedding. No, we don't need that. Projects. Oh my god, so many of them. Other. Find any hint, so we'll send Econ on that one. There was one of these that was... Restoration of the Road of Shields. You can... No! I didn't expect that to happen, sorry. So Valerie managed to stop the poachers. Dead man's chest, that's an opportunity. And the treasurer requires our attention. Guess we're getting gifts as well. Caledorn, it is time we discuss one of the gravest problems of the River Kingdoms, piracy, and all the crimes which accompany it. You see, for decades the illegal trade of stolen goods flowed among the criminals and corrupt merchants of these lands, but now that we have guards in the harbours and along the roads, this illegal traffic has slowed, but only somewhat. Someone else might suggest you take advantage of the situation. Simply collect your fees and don't ask too many questions about the blood these goods are soaked in. But as a traveller far and wide, experience has taught me that real wealth only gathers where there is no robbery or smuggling. The major trade unions won't want to deal with the one who promotes piracy. I warn against tolerating things as they now stand. Establish proper customs in your harbour and hunt down these lawless captains. The shadow trade must be put to an end. I command the establishment of proper customs. So, we shall put an end to the illegal trade of stolen goods in these lands. What music to my ears. You heed my advice, proving that my labours to elevate this territory have not been wasted. I shall endeavour in my next book to explain how important it is for every wise advisor to work with a leader who knows better than to interfere. Okay. To community relations and stability. Get a gift from Dragon. Another ankle breaker. Make a plate armor. Lindsay. Caledorn, I've just received word. Did you know that there's trouble brewing in Varnhold? Their militia is at odds with itself. The captain cannot keep her soldiers in line. According to her, they've gotten completely out of hand. It might even come to bloodshed. I think you should pay them a visit personally. Well, that will have to wait until the next episode. One thing that I do want to do is to equip the ankle breaker on Caledorn. I'll probably just sell that again. Which is a shame, but the ankle breakers are so good. But that will be that for now. So thank you all so much for joining me, and I will see you all in the next episode.